Welcome back from that short break. Smart 24 TV is still live on doing or driving business, and this is the business edition. My name is Pedison Mumbere. Before I left for a commercial break, I was like, we are going to discuss the climate change. Here in the week, we had our climate activists. They came over the country and they raised the concern of high food security that is going on, that comes as a result of climate change. There were a lot of symposiums that have been done in the country here to discuss issues of the climate change, and it was done also over the weekend here. Let us have more of this story.
According to the government's view on food insecurity, Karamoja leads the other drought-affected sub-regions with 41% of the population, followed by Teso at 21.4% and Acholi at 19.4%. Other sub-regions affected by the drought include Buganda at 17.7%, Bunyoro, Ankole and Chigezi at 4.2% respectively. The government requested 300 billion Ugandan shillings from the Ministry of Finance in August to address the food insecurity that has spread across the nation, but this problem still exists.
Trying to mobilize up to 300 billion shillings, and this is going to cover 2 seasons. Also answering the question of time frame, we are looking at the 2 seasons. There is season of August, September to November, December. Then also the season. The
East Africa Food Security Symposium and Expo's 2022 edition is a way to understand how the economy would change due to full modernization, mechanization, and electrification. In a speech on behalf of the President of Uganda, Honorable Winifred Chakulaga, the Minister of State for Agriculture, Fisheries and Animal Industries, says that it is important to raise awareness of the effects of climate change in East African nations so that strategies to improve food security and reduce its effects can be developed.
Countries within the East African region to plan, budget, and implement commitments to address climate change, food security, nutrition, and the well-being of the common person.
Experts claim that instances of food security are a sign that strategic response mechanisms, such as those for storing, transporting and distributing food, processing and preserving seeds, have failed. Because of this, exhibitors argue that technology that can be used on farms needs to be accepted rapidly.
It's designed for what's called conservation agriculture, so making the soil, protecting the soil, building soil health, putting carbon back into the soil, which is going to again help with the climate. So all the implements are here. So instead of ploughing, where you plough the field and you dig up the field, you dig up the soil, all the carbon is then released, which is, we talked about, carbon is affecting climate, okay? With this, you can see here, you only open a small slot, there's a seeder, opens a small slot, puts the seed and the fertilizer directly in and closes. So the soil is being kept as is.
Where we have reached mostly when it comes to innovation, so and we want Ugandans to know that at least we have reached far when it comes to innovation.
Food security in the East African region is faced with challenges like insecurity, decreasing area of arable and agricultural land.
On the table, make sure there is food on the table, managed in a sustainable way. Number 2, energy. We need energy to pump up our economies to end poverty. So 2 issues are being solved at the same time: climate change, food insecurity.
The world is facing challenges occasioned by climate change, which has been and remains a major challenge for the current times in as far as food security is concerned. As you are aware, human beings thrive on food for sustainability and survival. And this is not about to change.
The solution is to understand the social and economic transformation through full monetization, mechanizing, and electrification of the economy.
One of the issues is that we have to live a sustainable way. All of us. It's everybody, household, lifestyle must change. The way we drive, how we drive, what we eat, what we throw away. Number 2, plant more trees. Number 3, push government to remove taxes from the gas tanks, because when you remove gases from the gas tanks, the cost of gas will become cheaper. It will be cheaper than a sack of charcoal, and the appetite for the charcoal will go low in the cities, thus making the trees grow and thrive countryside.
The symposium is meant to contribute solutions to the global challenges of climate change and food security, promoting awareness of the linkages of the impacts of climate change and focusing on safeguarding communities from hunger. Naomi Mtumba, Smart 24 TV.
Okay, issues of climate, putting them aside, and we'll get to another story here. We're going to discuss the private school owners who tasked the government of Uganda to exempt them from paying the income tax. However, another group of the private school owners are saying this is not proper. Everybody must pay, or every company must pay income tax. I caught up with Mr. Chuanuka, who is the communications officer of the private school institutions in the country, and he had a lot that he discussed with myself. Let us see more of this story. The Uganda Revenue Authority recently met with the owners of the private education institutions in Uganda on how to cope up with the tax regime. However, among the issues was on payment of income tax. Most urged the difficulty in paying this tax because of the value-added tax that already payable on the amenities like water, food, electricity and school transport, among others. They therefore called on government to exempt them from paying income tax. They said that they need to collectively meet whoever made the law because their schools are going to collapse. I spoke with Christopher Chuanuka, the Association of Proprietors of Private Education Institutions Communications Coordinator. He disagreed with his colleagues in education, but underlined the need for policy uniformity.
We really don't believe in exemption. Piao believes that if anybody makes income, should pay tax. And I want to emphasize that. This is the philosophy of our association, Piao. If anybody makes income, let him pay tax, because there is a mechanism between this person and the government to prove that you have made taxable income or not. But not simply to leave somebody quit with 3 million shillings per student for 2,000 students a term. That means 9 million shillings a year from a parent on one child times 2,000 students, and you say it's exempt. And then you come to this other school which is charging 1 million shillings a term, which is 3 million shillings a year, and spends 100% of its cost, capital and revenue on that money, and you say that one is taxable. You can't impose this requirement on these ones alone.
According to Income Tax Act, schools registered as companies pay tax at the rate of 30%, while those registered by individuals pay progressive tax of up to 10, 20 to 30%. Educationists urge that they are providing a service that the government should be doing. Therefore, the need for a special touch is paramount. The tax exemption proposal came along with demand for government to drop the plan to fix the school fees levied by private schools.
NPL says that government has to harmonize its regulatory mechanism. Why should you regulate the school fees of private schools which are charging 1 million and you leave the government-aided schools which are charging 3 million shillings uncontrolled? You have structures, the board of governors, the parent teachers associations, which are the two bodies that are supposed to assist government to oversee the regulation of school fees. But you will be surprised to find that when you go into some of these schedules of school fees of some schools, the Board of Governors and PTAs take the lion's share. Before even the student starts enjoying the benefit of education. A Board of Governor, the final school fee structure, 600,000 is going to Board of Governors, 300,000 is going to PTA, before even they talk of the tuition.
Income tax is a national tax that is imposed on profits made by owners running these educational institutions and is only payable if the owner makes profits. A profit is the excess of revenue from business over expenditure in generating that income. The revenue for school is largely generated from school fees. However, many of these private schools are registered as private businesses. For a private business to avoid tax and yet benefit from some services that the rest of the Ugandans enjoy is the same as saying some are more equal than others. To put it to another way, these schools are operating in the economy that allows for them to purchase the ingredients that they need to set up their schools. Pedson Mumbere, Smart 24 TV.